Hello everyone, I am the Talkative Scribe. Today, I'll be casting some games for the Tournament Kingdom. We'll be on games 2 and 4 today, so until then, enjoy the view of game 1 as we head on over to the main channel.
Aurora, we had lots of time to talk about the comps here as we saw them being drafted, as we loaded on in. Give me some initial thoughts here as we kind of continue to trade blows here early on.
There are a lot of power picks here. You, of course, manifested the Pike once again, calling it out. I love
Yeah,
that.
we saw the Pike, and of course, Pike is actually going to be the first one to fall here as we're starting to see some health bars drop. You see over on the red side, too, called up the Pike. Obviously, the Shaco there as well. You got lots of lockdown potential over on red side.
We also have a bunch of peeling with the Galio Karma, and then MF is just such a strong pick, even with like Ghostblade nerfs, of course. MF's just still really strong. Sivir, always strong in ARAM. Just to wave. Oh my god, we're getting a bloodbath already. And
yeah, we saw the CC chain there, and of course the Galio getting hooked into the Shaco box. And just a little bit of a time check here, Aurora. I'm at a minute 40 right now.
40? Jesus.
I think I somehow got ahead of you there.
Okay.
What are you at here?
I'm at 47.
Okay, I'll pause here for 4. All right, I should be closer now. I'm at a minute 53.
Okay.
So we should be better on here as we do see Contential Clown going on in there, taking down Plain Bog. A shutdown, though, back onto the Shaco. So some early extra gold here for Shanasan on this MF. However, the Sivir will fall as well. 4 kills to 2 as Tashi goes a little bit too deep. He's going to go into his passive. Health bars are low. Going to be able to do quite a bit of substantial damage with the passive. As we'll calm down for now here. Level 5's starting to come out for both our sides. Of course, this is an ARAM tournament. We use the Shurima Shuffle to pick the comps. Both teams had to draft from an available pool here. Obviously, the pool turned out very nice for both sides with all of the power picks that came out. We talked about the Pike, the brand, one of the highest win rates right now in ARAM. I looked a little bit earlier. Of course, Alawi is the highest win rate, if you're curious, at 61% right now. So maybe a little bit overtuned for the map. Brand sitting right up there at about 54. There's a Shiv coming in. That'll secure the kill on the Lunar Butterfly. However, Consensual Clown will not get out alive. He's taken down by Shanasan. Exhaust dropped onto Aatrox Tradwife. He's going to be able to get on out of there as Bisexual Alliance looks for the angle there with that Poppy. He's going to push Plain Bog on back, and he's going to finish off the kill as well. So another extended fight there. But Better Than Creamy Pies continues to have that kill advantage. You see here some players starting to get ahead a little bit. 3 kills on the Shaco and 1 kill here for this Kog'Maw. You there?
Yeah, hold on. I have to set up. I have to set up this director properly.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I'll just keep going. You just let me know when you're good to go and continue on here as we continue to trade back and forth. Ultimates have officially come online here. Teams starting to hit level 6. Of course, you see level 6s. Maybe I'm not quite sure who I'd give the edge to here with this level 6. Of course, obviously, you've got the bullet time for MF.
If they can get a Galio like knock up into MF Ultimate, I feel like that'd be good. But I don't know who else would go in besides Galio here, because he's kind of their sole source of engage.
Yeah, it's definitely true that I think over on the red side you are a little bit squishier. I guess there's not really a whole lot in the way of tankiness on either side. Obviously, Poppy will be your tank for blue side here, Better Than Creamy Pies, but there just isn't a lot of durability as we see the ultimate come out here from the real Uguay, trying to make it 2. He does. Before he dies, the Galio ult will not save Shanasan there, so good use of the ultimate for the real Uguay. The cut going on over to the brand here as well, who will quickly spend that gold here. Yeah, now that brand's starting to get some of that gold back. No kills, no deaths just yet, so still working with that Fiendish Codex.
Hello?
But that's where Pike starts to get you. All the extra gold, it really does start to add up.
Thomas?
8 kills to 5
Are you
here
live?
as the Pike shows back
Oh, you're live?
up.
Can
Looking for that hook here. Gets White fell through the minions. And able to dash back out safely.
Test.
Starting
Brand
to see
just
those builds.
poking out. Oh my god. MF is
especially when it
going
comes.
all in for her ultimate, building Axiom Mark second. She really wants all the ultimates all the time.
Here we go, another fight. There is the bullet time. Will take down Rescue Crab. Consensual Clown in the back lines. Does at least cause a little bit of CC. But ultimately, still going to be a red team win, it looks like here. Still looking for Tashi. Tashi back to the safety of his tower. But with 4 members alive here for red team, this is going to be a nice little chance to push here. You see those death timers, they're starting to expand a little bit. This should be first tower right here. And maybe they'll get the kill as well. Tashi going to be taunted up. The rest of the team going to jump on top. They'll pick up the kill. They'll have the Relth Helic on the way out, although Aatrox passive, excuse me, not Aatrox passive, Kog'Maw passive will take down Aatrox Tradwife. So Storm Surge coming through here for Planebog. Item has been a little bit nerfed. Consensual Clown does find the kill onto Whitefell. You see the Navori Quick Blades and the Static Shiv here for the Sivir. Still waiting on that second item for the Karma, although
Gonna be
you have the
Shadow
needlessly large rod and the alternator. Yeah, might be Shadow Flame, probably. I would assume, with the items built.
Wait,
Meanwhile,
he
you
does
do
have
have-
an extra amp tome though. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that M-Tome could be
Wait a
anything.
minute.
It could. Maybe he'll throw us for a loop. Here we go. Another fight. Bisexual Line does find the stun onto Planebog. Planebog is burning. Nice Brand ultimate there. You see the health bar still ticking away here as Brand now has the Leandry's Torment and the Malignance as well. So all kinds of burn damage coming through. Only 1 kill. But
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we were also
starting to get-
talking about the hubris from Pike.
yes, we were
Very
talking about
fun
Hubris.
item. Very,
Very-
very, very fun. It got nerfed, but it's still very fun.
Very fun too to watch the statues back in base. I don't remember where it's built on
Let's let
ARAM.
Pike get a kill.
Yeah, I don't remember where they're built on ARAM, but either way, Hubris is complete. Here comes the Sivir ultimate. Shutdown going to be picked up here by, that was of course the real Oogway. These fights so hard to call. Everybody just kind of dies here. But it looks like it is going to be a 3 for 3 at the end of the day here. Rescue Crab and Consensual Clown, who had just come back up from the previous fight, they're left alive here. And you see Planebog and Whitefell. They're
I
kind of
smell
in
blood. They smell blood.
Yeah, they're
the
in-
water.
They're Shaco's execute range, and here he goes. Going to use that clone, going to get on top of the Ari. 1 auto attack, and that
Shaco
is
going
that.
for the
Whitefell
full
might be in a little
burst,
bit of
yeah.
trouble as well, trying to kite on back. Not going to get away. 2 kills for
AD
Consensual
Shaco.
Clown. Yeah, it is AD Shaco too. Yeah, good point there. So the boxes aren't going to be as annoying as they would be with AP Shaco, but he has his ways, especially with already 3 items, the Cyclosword, the Profane Hydra as well, and of course the Essence Reaver as well. So that Shaco's very, very strong. 12 kills, has the most gold of anybody in this game here at the moment. So that Shaco definitely one to watch here. Stun up against the wall here. Did Aatrox Tradwife go a little bit too deep? Yes, he did.
Told ya, tanks are just gonna die like lickety split.
Bullet time fully onto Bisexual Line. Just going to kind of tank it all and then push him away, although still will die. As Whitefell was able to get on top. Real Oogway going to find back-to-back executes here. Look at that movement speed. Able to get away from the charm as well. The Shaco box is wreaking havoc, but ultimately, Planebog is able to keep him on alive here. You see the spam pings come out. Everybody's
I don't
focused
see
on
any
that Pike here
statues.
at the moment. As the ignite, the burn, the ignite. No, Planebog gonna get away. Gonna get the health relic too. So, Oogway
Hey.
will be taken down. It is an ace here for
Do
Red
we
side.
not see any statues and spectators? Is that it? Or do they
Yeah,
not
that's
have
what I
any
was curious
statues
about.
in
I was
hand?
like, I know there's a statue somewhere around here, but I can't find it. He's definitely gotten kills. So, I don't know. Riot,
Oh yeah, wait. Did they
Riot,
change it?
please fix.
I don't know. It's not showing any stacks either. It's not like usually it has like the 1980 like under it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see that either. Okay, well, that's fun. Anyway, bullet time here takes down Rescue Crab. Bisexual Line into the back line here. You see the big ultimate shield coming out here from Lunar Butterfly, although Planebog will still be taken down by the Shaco. Aatrox Tradwife, lots of shielding behind him here, goes into the back line once again. Consensual Clown, meanwhile, he will use that Q to great effect. Real Uguay now sensing blood in the water, comes through, finds 2 kills, misses the hook onto Whitefell, still on the prowl though. Whitefell trying to kite on back, might actually have the advantage here. But with Real Uguay back to the safety of the brush, well, I say that, then they'll go ahead and re-engage here. Whitefell does take down 1, but Tashi's there for the support, the follow-up, and he'll be the only one left alive here, so. Now up to 77 kills in 18 minutes.
I blinked, and that score just doubled. Okay. And
77
still
kills
even.
in 18
Yep,
minutes.
still
And we've
1K.
only still had 1 tower taken here, Aurora.
Oh
Just
my
the
God.
1 tower. So, it's one of those games, you know? Where,
It's always one of those games.
and you can't really say that neither team has push, because they do.
They do.
They just flat out want to fight. Only fight.
We'll say I
cares
will
about
give the
objective?
advantage in red side for push, just because they have the Sivir.
Yeah, I mean, the Sivir, the Ahri, obviously you queue the back line, the minions just kind of die. And then, of course, bullet time, obviously, you can clear minions, I guess, if you really want to use your ultimate there. But here we go again. Aatrox Tradwife. Going to be bursted down here. Uguay, though, going to be charmed. He'll be taken down by the Storm Surge, it looks like. There is the bullet time. Fully onto the Kog'Maw. Will secure the kill. Bisexual Lion now under tower as the Kog'Maw passive will take down Planebog. Bisexual Lion still just kind of tanking up that tower there. Double kill for Planebog. Bisexual Lion, last one left alive. Tanking tower. Yeah, I mean,
He's still tanking.
still tanking, still alive. The towers, they do nothing. And he'll just kind of wait for some support, or he'll wait for the sweet release of death, or he'll just kind of walk it on out. Yeah.
Yep, he's
All
just
right.
walking it. Walk it off.
Fair enough, I suppose. As
He
we're
just
now up
tanked
to...
like 10 plus towers. Like
Yeah. I was going to say, did you count him up there during that fight? Because it felt like he tanked about 10 or 15, especially when the second tower came into play.
Yep.
So, well, that's the status of towers. We get everybody back on in here. Obviously, Better Than Creamy Pies has a little bit of a longer walk to lane than Poro Pals at this point in time. Another stun up onto the wall, follow-up hook, and yeah, Aatrox Tradwife just down once again. Big bullet time there, going to take down Tashi. But Real Uguay, he's got that ultimate, he's got the resets, has himself 2. Looking for 3, didn't get it, is going to be taken down. Shana-san back in the safety of his own tower. Not going to be very safe, though. As there you go, first tower is taken. 3 bodies left up here. This might actually be 2 towers. Lowest death timer here for Poro Pals. Actually still 13 seconds. Yeah. Might be a second tower, might be an inhib. Obviously, the ones left alive here, not the greatest push. But yeah, you were right. Going to be able to take down that inhib. Probably as far as they're going to be able to go. We might see, yeah, I was going to say Aatrox Tradwife might just try to get behind him here. We'll have a little bit of support here in just a few seconds. Will he be able to stay alive? Looks like it here. As Planebog going to get on in on the backline. Consensual Clown using that invisibility, going to try to jump onto Lunar Butterfly, but only be able to take down that health bar a little bit.
Hey, can you mute?
Here, Bisexual Lion starting to run out of mana a little bit, trying to kite on back. Aatrox Tradwife just dead again.
Okay, hello everyone. So we are getting on into game 2 of the day. This is going to be between the Heathers, and I'm down for that. On the Heathers, we do have Creamy Pie, Baggin, Dr. Phil, I Am Anxious, and Mago. And on I'm down for that, we're going to have Ladsy, Bays, Big Chino 28, M1844, and Potato Sack 3047. We're just in the lobby right now, and we're going to take a look at our Shurima Shuffle link. We're going to pull that onto screen for everyone. Well, we do have a client-side expiration error, actually. So we will be getting into the lobby soon here to examine the game. But for now, there's going to be screenshots sent to both teams, and they're going to begin when ready. Not much to talk about for the moment, so we are going to enjoy the waiting period as we prepare to get into the lobby. And just as we get the elevator music queued up, we are into Champion Select. So, on one side, it looks like we have Morgana, Zach, Unknown, Caitlyn, and Unknown. On the other side, we have actual lock-ins prepared for the most part. It's going to be a quite aggressive-looking team. They do have a Shen as a frontliner and a Rakan as engage. However, it's so far a single AD carry with Sivir for the wave clear, Zoe and Hui potentially for the poke, though Hui is not locked in just yet. The teams do have 42 seconds remaining to do that. As on the other side, nothing's locked in just yet, but it's looking like a very ranged heavy comp as well. 280 carries thus far. That Senna not quite locked in, though it would be interesting to see the soul stacking mechanic on the Howling Abyss, as Caitlyn's locked in now on that side alongside the Morgana. Kennen potential for big plays on that side of the map. Zach for the engage. Zach can be a little bit unreliable as an engager on the Howling Abyss, as there are several things in the game that can stop that leap. But now the teams are locked in. We have 5 seconds to go as we prepare for battle. We may need to do some minor adjustments to the screen to make sure everything's fitting on there properly as we wait for the spectator delay actually to finish up. So let's take a moment to compare the teams. On one side, we have Morgana, Zach, Senna, Caitlyn, and Kennen. On the other side, we have Sivir, Shen, Rakan, Zoe, and Hui. Certainly, both teams have plenty of DPS to be put out here. A little bit of poke on each end, though certainly more poke on the Hui Zoe end rather than the other side of the map. A little bit of engage on both sides. Overall, well-balanced team comps. I mean, really, this is something that you could even see on Summoner's Rift. A team, something to fill each role, though. Maybe not any jungler on the right side of your screen. I'm sure Rakan jungle's been tried a few times. River Shen, of course, famous, though its clearing capability's not as good. Though I believe Shen did get some jungle buffs at some point in the past. So we do resume our elevator music while we wait for the spectator client to finish up here. I hope you're all enjoying your days. Game 1 was an exciting one. Lots and lots of kills on the map for that. No way, just 1 minute left until the game begins. "20 seconds remain, and there we are. We are just about to get into the game. So we're probably going to be doing some minor adjustments to the screen to make sure that everything fits on there perfectly. As let's get this loaded up. Though it does appear to be a black screen for the moment. Let's see if we can get this sorted out.
Hey, it might be a black screen because it's still loading. Someone's PC crashed. So,
Okay, you heard it here. Someone's PC crashed, and now we are loading into the game. We're sitting on 0% right now, as we can actually see which champions are played by which players and on which teams. Thank you for that informative soundbite, Spencer.
you're
That is
welcome.
good to know.
Yeah, you might be here at a while, so I don't know. I'm gonna talk to Dr. Phil because he's back. He was coming along.
Well, that sounds
But,
good.
if it doesn't load, I will update you.
I think we're going to be slapping the elevator music back on for a little bit here.
All right. Yeah, I'll update you in a minute.
Sounds good. Well, the one good thing that we have right now is we can see which champions are on which teams. We are going to turn that down just a little bit.
Just a quick update for everyone here. Apparently Dr. Phil is reconnected and they're in-game. I'm curious to see if this will load, though. I'll probably stay here until it fully loads in.
Okay, so with any luck, that means we have at most 2 to 3 minutes until we get into the game. As unable to download spectator data, the game will now exit.
Okay.
Not what we're looking for here.
Not very cash money.
However, we might be able to try to reconnect.
Yeah, try reconnecting. If that doesn't work, I might have a workaround.
We do appear to be sitting on a loading bar of death at the moment. But that may not last forever. Well, I do believe that's going to last forever. Oh, there we go! Okay, so we just have a little bit of resizing to do, as we do begin to load into the game now. And just a smidge more. As we're going to mute that elevator music. And our game officially begins.
It's pause.
Well, it's paused. Okay, here we go. We are into the game. On the blue side, we have I'm Down for That, M1844 on the Morgana. On the Zac is going to be Potato Sack, 3047. On the Senna, Ladzy. On the Caitlyn is going to be Big Chino 28, and Baze will be taking up the rear on the Kennen. On the red side, Dr. Phil's on the Sivir, Mago's on the Shen. I Am Anxious is on the Hui, Creamy Pie's on the Zoe, and Baggin is taking up the Rakan. As we are about to get into some action here as the Rakan takes the snowball. He is going to get beat up pretty badly for that, but he's going to be able to use that battle dance to get out. As now Zoe is tagged by the Senna, but nothing doing. As Zoe will just walk it out. Hui smacking a little bit of damage into there. As now, tagged is Shen. Shen now going to taunt up the Kennen, as now we are in full engage mode. Big Zac Q onto multiple people there. However, it is going to dissipate as well. So a lot of threat of action being taken early on here, but nothing to show for it just yet. The blue team is on blinking health bars, as I'm Down for That. I'm sure would like to get better to the trade as Creamy Pie went for the Zoe Q, misses, and he just walks it out. Not a lot of punishment happening for that, as Zac will indeed go down for the first blood. Creamy Pie claiming that on his Zoe, as in return, Sivir will fall Ladzy with the second blood. Kennen still sitting very low here as Creamy Pie will exploit it. As he goes down, the health heroic claimed in the back. Not optimal usage of that by the Heathers. However, they do get some healing there, and they do maintain a health bar lead as well. Things not moving too quickly thus far. A little bit of more measured gameplay. As I say that, Caitlyn walks up a bit too far and goes down to Hui. A little bit of wave clearing going on now. It's 1-3 in score. So far, it looks like the Heathers do have a distinct advantage. As we do have a little bit more action happening here now. Creamy Pie whiffs that Zoe bubble. As Kennen was looking for something there, but can't quite find it. Really, at level 6... I'm Down for That should be coming online a little bit more in comparison to the Heathers. Though, the Rakan Charm does have a lot of potency, as does Hui's level 6. That massive ultimate. Just a little bit of dissipation. As I'm Down for That does appear content to wait and scale just a bit. The Heathers will fall back for that other health relic, as they just continue to try to poke. That was a very large chunk of poke landing onto Caitlyn there by Creamy Pie's Zoe, as that health relic claimed as well. It does feel like we are in a pressure cooker right now, as action has slowed down, just a little bit of poke exchanged. Certainly a little bit more of an all-in comp on the side of I'm Down for That. The snowball lands from the Rakan at level 6, however, too far beneath the turret to take it. So we continue with a measured approach to this game that both teams are taking. A lot of wave clear on the side of the Heathers. That Hui, notorious for his ability to clear waves with that. I believe that's a double Q. As Zac does jump in, he is going to be rooted up as Kennen follows up with a huge slicing maelstrom to cut through the Heathers. However, only 2 down so far to 1 on the side of I'm Down for That. Sivir, his ultimate still ticking away. Every ultimate used there for the most part, in fact, for the entire part, as just that Zoe ultimate. on that little 8-second cooldown, already back up for that portal jump. As Senna will walk forward and does claim the life of Mego. Well done by Ladzy. So, another stall in the action. Very low health bars, as that is the Recon engage onto M1844. However, the Morgana will not quite go down. Wasn't quite able to spell shield that in time, as now here comes the big quickness. And that will wipe the floor with the Morgana as he goes for another engage. However, back and went a little bit too deep there. Caitlyn walking up is going to shoot the Sivir. A battle of AD carries is won by the Caitlyn for the moment. However, she does go down as well. As now Creamy Pie has claimed that flash, and he will not need to use it there as he lands the full combo on Baeus. As now we resume a momentary pause again. Creamy Pie is fishing multiple low health members, flash in hand. As he will fish again, not find anything there. We'll see how that free flash is utilized, as Zoe is able to just pick that up through every fight. Dr. Phil just clearing on the Sivir. As now Senna moves into the shadows to stealth her entire team. Morgana does land a binding on Rakan, but not a lot to be done there, as Creamy Pie does indeed find the Q onto Kennen. Still holding on to that flash. Can do a lot of damage with that max range Zoe Q. As that poke is landed from Hui. However, the center root does land on Shen, but to no avail, as the Zac does not have the passive, and he is shredded to bits on his attempted follow-up engage. Just not quite high health enough for that, as the arrows fly through the side of I'm down for that. They are really suffering in the war of attrition here. They do have the engage on their side, though. As that is even more poke raining down. The pizza slice cuts through Senna to get her down to low health, as Rakan just went a little bit too far forward, but can you ever really go too far forward as that champion? Lots of mobility on that feathery dancer. Wave clear. Sivir's natural habitat is occurring here. As Zac is going to get the engage. However, he does have that Dawning Shadows over him. They've got a lot of damage down already, as Kennen is going to find a big damage to take down Baggin. That was, however, all engage ults used. It's just the Morgana ult remaining on the side of I'm down for that. As here comes the Zac again. The Shen ult whiffs on top of the whiffed Zac engage. However, Zac passive is activated, baited into the bush. However, toward the bush, I should say, as many are down on all sides of the fight. No ults yet back for I'm down for that. However, they don't need them as they try to go in again. But Hui is going to auto some people to death. And that is going to be a victory on the side of the Heathers for this moment. It really looks like after that engage, they just can't withstand the poke for any extended period of time, as Creamy Pie doing a little bit of trolling, or perhaps just looking for an ARAM execute. Not any chance to get that, though, as we can look at the items now. The static shiv on the Sivir, you can tell Dr. Phil's really going for the wave clear, as Zac does indeed try to engage again. However, Potato Sack won't find anything to slap. Caitlyn has that collector. I'm not really sure on AD carry itemization nowadays. As, let's just take a look at that. Does collector it does still have lethality, so kind of going for a Manamune collector build on the Caitlyn. As now that's another engage coming in on Zac, as that's a huge shot from Caitlyn to take down I Am Anxious. The Hui has been a problem for the blue team, as that is a huge poke landed by Creamy Pie on the Zoe. As now Morgana's W does take down Rakan on Baggin. That's a Zoe bubble, not quite landing there. The Heartsteel built on the Shen. You do wonder if he's going for the full HP build. He has quite a bit of armor, but looking at the side of I'm down for that, they actually don't have a lot of AP threats. Where there is a lot more mixed damage on the side of the Heathers. The Leandries picked up first on the Morgana, picking up the tier for a future mana item as well. Malignant's built on Hui, That ultimate CDR, very valuable on him. As Storm Surge picked up for the Zoe for the burst, as now there is an engage, and Senna is found. Zac on the other side, however, is going to get a big engage, and here comes the slicing Maelstrom over the top. In comes Morgana ultimate, not going to connect the chain on anyone as one dies and one escapes, and Morgana will go down to the damage of the Zoe. Bloodshed on both sides, 2 for 2 so far. The engage tools used on the side of I'm down for that, as now the follow-up comes in again. We're going to see if it's going to be the same story that it has been, as the Zoe will indeed go in and slap them down to the ground, picking up that flash again. The Dawning Shadow's not going to connect on its intended target, and unfortunately that one doesn't do damage to the wave either. Zoe just utilizing that flash to get to the health relic a little bit faster. Don't know if it was about to expire or if they were just doing some drolling. 50-50, of course. As now, we're going to take a look over here, as Zac is going to try to engage again. However, Zac didn't have any follow-up that time. Probably not the best utilization of that. However, Potato Sack 3047 was just going for the engages over and over again. You have to respect that gameplay, especially in an ARAM setting, as Caitlyn goes down as well to the poke. I don't know if you can really even call that poke, as Creamy Pie goes a little bit too forward, and he's shut down by the Morgana. And we hit a little bit of a lull. However, the health relic is being fought over, but it looks like the Heathers are just going to take that for free for the most part, as huge amounts of poke rain down onto the cannon. Towers up on both sides still, 15-19 to the score at 11:30, as here comes the poke again. My God, those pizzas hurt. But to be fair, I don't know that I've ever been slapped in the face with a pizza before. I'd imagine it would hurt a little bit, depending on the firmness of your crust, that is. Sourdough bread pizza would certainly hurt a lot. As now that taunt comes in onto Morgana, just stepping a little bit too far forward there, as that death brush has been pulled off. Zac has a snowball tagged. We'll see if he's willing to go that deep. He is not. As Potato Sack 3047 decides not to go for it, as Mago went for the taunt, couldn't quite find it. As here comes Zac, again attempting the engage, however that one is going to be whiffed. Big recon taunt into the backline as the slicing Maelstrom comes in on the other side, but it's just not quite enough. The Dawning Shadows comes over as the Caitlyn is going to get a headshot, as I'm down for that begins to wipe the fight. They got 4 kills there. They did use their ultimates to effectiveness. Baze actually doing a lot of work there, despite only getting everyone to about 70% HP. He did get the stun and the cannon ult on just about everyone there, as Big Chino 28 did the big plays. However, Creamy Pie is going to come around and do a lot of damage on the back end. A ton of damage on the back end, as he claims 2 kills. So now it's 1 tower on each side. It was a 1 team fight with the big team fighting tools of I'm down for that. However, the Heathers, yet again, picking people off after the fight disengages, I should say, as that's not quite going to be a found engage there. However, a lot of damage on Morgana as the Heathers continue to walk forward. However, they back up now. Asleep is Zac. He's going to need to flash out of that Hui bite. Didn't want to get displaced there, as it might have been his death. That is a huge amount of damage onto Senna from the Zoe. Does that champion have ARAM buffs? Let's see. Oop. Let's get that fixed. Yes, my God, it has 100% increased damage. That's insane. As the fight breaks out again, Morgana is going to be found on the other side. Rakan's going to go down as well. Zac goes into the passive. Dawning Shadows spreads over as the Hui ult was ticking on Caitlyn. However, Caitlyn gets her revenge on Hui as she says, I'm not afraid of your paintbrush, guy. She has a gun. Generally, you don't win that fight, as Kennen does indeed get the slicing Maelstrom onto Zoe with a snowball, however, dies in the process. As that is going to be Sivir going down as well. And now they walk forward. Many low health bars on both sides. as Mago, piloting that Shen, is going to take some damage from that Senna. Let's take a look at Senna. Senna does have reduced damage modifiers in here. However, she gets a lot of souls in ARAM as she's up to 95 already. That's a lot of range, a lot of damage as Zac is going to find the engage this time onto Baggin. He is sent straight back to the fountain from whence he came. Hui trying to paint the snow, but not quite landing that one. That one does land onto Zac, just repeatedly using that. I believe that's an EE combo from Hui. To be quite honest with you, I've never played Hui, so we're just doing a little bit of guessing here. As Sivir continues to wave clear. Let's take another look at the itemization here. Malignance was completed first. Now it's the Shadow Flame to try to finish off targets with the Hui. That does synergize very well with his most used ultimate ability. As that poke continues to land. It's the Infinity Edge and the Static Shiv for the Sivir. The Kennen looked for an engage for a moment, but not quite finding it. Rakan does get the Warmogs as well, as Senna is going to be backing up. Baze has found them, as that is a huge Kennen ult, slicing apart the lives of the Heathers. And Baze is doing work on this Kennen. That's going to be a big push. They should be able to get another tower off this, potentially an inhibitor. Look at those death timers, actually. 20 seconds left before they're even up. So certainly an inhibitor here. Probably not more, as we do get to see those Hex Gates shown off. Once the resurrections come out, we will see if I'm down for that, decides to extend, as they do indeed, and that's a huge combo from Hui as Rakan comes in with the secondary engage, and that is a clean ace from the Heathers. That is the pendulum of ARAM right there, folks, as we see two explosive teams with big teamfight ultimates on the board. On the other side, though, now, I'm down for that. Now has the long death timers of their own. However, the Heathers don't have a minion wave, and that backdoor bonus is, I should say backdoor armor bonus is doing a lot of work for that turret. As Dr. Phil loses about 60% of his health bar. Not a lot of lifesteal on that build, so he won't be able to get back. As Zac just goes straight in with the Hex Gate, and it's going to be a wipe on the other side now, it looks like. As the Dawning Shadows comes over, 3 are dead on the side of the Heathers. As the Slicing Maelstrom comes in, fleeing from Hui is the Kennen, I should say, piloted by Baze. And won't quite get there, as that's a long elastic slingshot from Zac, but just not quite able to get in range. As Anxious continues to fear targets away, Caitlyn ult just chunking him there. As now this could be a potential end angle, as Zac is going in for the engage again, doesn't quite find it there, as now will the pendulum swing back in the other direction as 2 towers fall. Here comes the Rakan engage, but it's to no avail as the Black Shield stops them in their track. Now Sivir is trying to unleash Hill onto the front line, throwing to pizzas left and right, but it is going to be Creamy Pie that claims the kill. Mago claims another as well. So now it's 3 dead on the side of I'm down for that, but certainly the game is looking to be in a powerful position for them. For the moment, the Heathers have the play, as that is going to be Zac coming in, and I Am Anxious goes down. Zac is becoming unkillable, as Sivir's just not quite able to pierce through them with this build. As that is Senna now attempting to do the damage. She's looking for the Zoe, but just not quite able to find it, as Shen does indeed chase down with the help of Sivir to slice him apart. So now we are devolving into complete and utter mayhem here, as the pendulum continues to swing back and forth. We'll see how heavily it swings on this turn, as I'm down for that. Settles in for the long haul. You see a Heartsteel being built on the Shen, as well as that Hollow Radiance, that magic resist item alternative put into the game for another iteration of Sunfire Cape. They do need a little bit of help with that Kennen. However, it does seem like the AD damage would be the larger threat outside of the burst window for a tank. Still, though, a good move with Heartsteel. It's actually a Fimbulwinter on Recon. I haven't seen that item in a while. It's quite good on tanks that can consistently apply that CC with other health items. As Zac is going to go in straight for the Let's Bounce as the Dawning Shadow comes over top. Again, the big combo coming in from I'm down for that, as they indeed look to have this game in the bag. And indeed, that is that. I'm down for that is going to take down the Heathers in Game 2 of this Tournament Kingdom ARAM Tournament. So as that game finishes up, you can head on back over to the main stream. We will indeed be hosting that, or maybe not hosting, but certainly clicking on it and putting on desktop audio again for you all to hear. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in Game 4.
to the Tournament Kingdom ARAM Tournament. We are looking at losers round 1 here at the moment. And of course, over on the blue side, you'll have the Heathers. On the red side, you will have Poro pals. LaRue, Aurora Flare back here with you once again. You take a look at the comps: Vladimir, Vayne, Thresh, Ziggs, and Twisted Fate for the Heathers. In the Poro pals, they're going with Senna, they're going with Ezreal, Lux, Zac, and Pantheon. Not as much action so far as we saw in our first game. We're basically fighting by this point. Already had 4 kills by this point. This time, though, we're just going to go ahead and kind of wait out for the minions. We see some interesting build paths come through. Most notably, and you were very hyped to see this, the 80 Twisted Fate. Very strong here at the moment. Cream pie.
Too strong, some might say. I've been on the receiving end of it in solo queue. It is not fun to play against sometimes. He just kind of gold cards you and auto attacks you. He's like a better Vayne. And would you look at that? They also have a Vayne.
They also have the Vayne. So they have a very distinct kind of team comp here. Obviously have the Engage in the Thresh as well. The Vladimir given a little bit of AP support alongside the Ziggs. Ziggs, very contentious champion amongst the ARAM community. Some say it's good, some say it's not. Here's the Thresh hook onto Zac. Obviously has the passive, but again, just try to walk this one on out. First Blood's actually going to go on over to Plain Bog, though. Dropping down the shield, dropping down the spears. Pantheon on the board with his first kill. Not the most flashy comps we've ever seen in a tournament like this. Of course, we were talking about that as well. Of course, you got mainstays like Lux, like Pantheon. Plastic slingshot here. Creamy Pie, nice flash to get on away. Needs to start dropping those auto attacks, though. Gonna find, not a kill, but just gonna go ahead and proc that Zac passive. Meanwhile, though, Shana-san will pick up the kill onto Dr. Phil. Looks like it's gonna be a full passive here for White Fell. Good use there, but still good on blue to at least pop that ahead of time. Now they'll need to just finish off the kill before it comes back up again. It's gonna be 2 kills here for red, and of course that 1 kill for blue side.
I want to see Thresh just absolutely ruin Zac and Pantheon's day by flaying them away when they try to engage, but let's see how well versed this Thresh is. See how well versed Baggin is and Thresh to try to counter engage here.
Yeah, using one of the rarer Thresh skins, by the way. Haven't seen an SSW Thresh skin in about years or so, and you know who might have played it last? Me. So that's why I'm even calling it out in the first place. Very underrated skin. Of course, SSW World Champs back in 2014, I think. About the time I started playing, and you know, I've been having a midlife crisis these last 15, 20 minutes or so. That just made me feel old again. I need to stop doing that to myself.
I wasn't going to say anything about it.
Looking for Whitefell. 2015, by the way. I'm a Bard baby. Started playing on Bard's release patch, so how far we've come. I think Echo was actually the first real new release I ever saw. So, that's fun. Ballistic slingshot being...
Ooh,
it is what it is. Hook coming through from Baggin. Gonna hook Whitefell on back. Is level 6. Trying to pull Baggin back on in here. You see the health bar very low, but gonna pick up those blobs to regain a little bit of health. But still, very nice hook there from Baggin.
I just started playing just a little bit after you, I think. I started playing pre-season 6, so 2016.
Okay.
Maybe?
Oh, I'm not that old then. You know.
Kindred, I think, was my champion that was released at the time.
Yeah, Kindred. I'm trying to remember who came out in 2015, 2016. I literally cannot remember. But it is what it is. Take a look here. Definitely a slower pace game than what we've had our first 2 streams today.
Finally a chill game that we don't...
Yeah, finally a chance to actually sit and breathe here for a moment. Classic slingshot coming through, finds nobody. Dr. Phil finding a couple auto attacks. Hooked there from Baggin. Still not able to secure that kill. Here comes Plain Bog with the point and click stun. I am anxious, lots of trouble. Did proc the ultimate, gonna gain a little bit of that health back. Already 2 kills here for blue side here. Dr. Phil trying to roll on in here in a lot of trouble. That is gonna be Aatrox Tradwife. He will die to kill for Creamy Pie. 2 kills for him. Baggin with another hook. Drops the box. A little bit overkill. But we'll still find a kill on the Lux as well. So there you go.
Very
4
nice
kills
hooks from
for blue
Baggins,
side.
yeah. Very nice hooks. Very clean, solid hooks from Baggin here. Getting kills right after level 6.
Yeah, Baggin definitely has impressed thus far here. Health Relic. Health Relic. is up. They'll go ahead and
You
secure
mean
it.
Reltelic? You mean Reltelic?
You know, it's a lot easier to say when they're not killing each other every 30 seconds. They'll secure both. As the
Going
minions
for
again push off.
lethality Pantheon with the Eclipse.
I'm gonna try for the delete build here. We see the Lux also finishing off that Luden's Companion. I believe those are the only... Nope, Kraken Slayer out here for Aatrox Tradwife. All
many
legendary
decks on
items
the
here
blue
for
side?
red side. Yeah, still waiting on the blue side, but you take a look at how much gold every single one of them has. They're all sitting above 2,000 gold here at the moment. So, when blue team dies, they'll definitely come back with some items. Of course, the gold is still even here at 6 minutes. Plain Bog jumping onto I Am Anxious. Twisted Fate ultimate coming out here, probably just to reveal, not really going to use that TP. Plain Bog is taken low. Nice Lux ultimate takes Dr. Phil low. But nobody dies.
Yeah, using
Now it's gonna
TF
be on red
Ultimate for
team.
brush vision is probably one of the best uses of TF Ultimate in ARAM besides backdooring, I think.
Yeah, backdooring, obviously picking off that one last enemy. Not quite as useful here on ARAM, I'd say, but like you said, still good for revealing in vision, which we've definitely seen red team focus on. With that Zac, obviously with the Pantheon, they want to engage from the brushes. Nice spear there, going to find the kill on a Dr. Phil. 3-man flay, doesn't have the box available just yet. There's the ultimate used here by Whitefell. I Am Anxious in the middle of things here, not able to find the kill on the Plain Bog. Now will with the auto attack. The hook comes down now onto Whitefell. Still working without a passive there is the Zac. Does he finally die? Yes, he does. It's Creamy Pie who picks up the kill. He's 3-0-3. This AD Twisted Fate is really starting to kind of scale on up here. So now sitting on 3.6k gold. And definitely will be coming up here.
We say he's going AD Twisted Fate, yet he has a tier, and I don't know if you built tier on AD Twisted Fate.
It might have been you click those ARAM automatic items. Of course, built the Guardian's Hammer.
Yeah.
And I think that gives you room for the tier. We'll see what he does with the tier. But I still think he's going AD by the fact that he bought a Guardian's Hammer.
We'll see when he dies.
Yeah, we'll see when he dies. And when, that's
If
a
he
big when.
dies.
Yeah,
If he
if he dies. If he dies. You never know these things. 8
This
kills
is
to
how it
6.
is,
Gold still even. Another elastic slingshot. You see Whitefell has that passive back hook coming on through. Does he follow? Yes, he does. 2-man flay. Doesn't. Nope. Does have the box. Gonna drop it now. Might be too late to save his life, though, as he will die. Passive was procced onto Whitefell. Looks like he's gonna get most of that health back. Flash forward for Plain Bog, trying to find the snipe. Missed it. He'll take the Walk of Shame back to the health relic.
Very
This
nice
one
sidestep
definitely-
there from Creamy Pie, dodging the binding and the sphere.
This one
Ooh,
definitely...
oh my God. Oh, no.
Ooh. Is this the death? No, not yet.
Nope, not-
Plain Pog
not
definitely wants it, though,
yet.
but it's actually going to be the Ezreal, the True Shot Barrage from behind, picking up the kill. And yeah, it is going to be the Rapid Fire Cannon coming out first. So,
He's
We didn't get an
prioritizing
answer
gold
just yet.
cards. He's
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
prioritizing gold cards.
going to help those
That's for
gold
sure.
cards, but still no answer here. AP Twisted Fate is more likely
Is built,
to
yeah.
build that, too.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. The jury's still out. I was waiting
Give
to
us
see
an
that
answer,
Kraken
Creamy
Slayer.
Pie. Give us an answer.
Come on,
We
Creamy
need to know.
Pie.
The people need to know.
Bagging another hook here, misses. Elastic Slingshot being charged up. Gonna go forward. Didn't find I Am Anxious. Still gonna try to pull him on back, though. Lux Arrow forces the pool out. Bagging, lands another hook here onto Plain Bog. Not gonna follow that one. Ziggs Bomb thrown out. Plain Bog dodging all the damage there. There is the Twisted Fate ultimate. He is actually gonna go forward here. Does land the gold card onto Lunar Butterfly. Health bars are low. First one to die. I Am Anxious. Here comes the ultimate from Plain Bog. Exhaust immediately dropped. Good exhaust there. Whitefell, another slingshot on in. Gets into the back line. Still very, very low health, though. Still finding kills, though. It's going to be a 2v2. Shaunasan, Whitefell, last one's left alive. Creamy Pie and Mego, they've got the majority of the health here. Whitefell just barely survives with his life. Shaunasan not so lucky. It's going to be a 4 kills to 3 kind of situation here. Blue team coming out on top. He's got a dagger, too. It has to be AD.
At this point, yeah, maybe.
It has to be. There's no way, right?
Some crude version of AD. I don't know. Typically, you go Kraken into like Ginsu's for lethal tempo, Twisted Fate. But we'll see what he's cooking up. Let him cook, I guess.
Yeah, we'll certainly see where he goes. I'm just waiting with bated breath over here, but he's only died once. He's not really helped. He's not really helped in that way. He's been able to keep himself very, very safe. They tried to engage, mind you. His hook comes down on the Lunar Butterfly. He's just going to be deleted. Creamy Pie picking up his 5th kill of the game. Baggin going again. Now going to find Plain Bog. Not going to take that one, though, but Baggin again. Continues to find hook after hook after hook. It's been a big part of this one. That one, an easy hook to land here on Shauna-san. Didn't follow up. But a little bit of damage comes through. Zig's bomb should be enough to secure. It is. Mego picks up the kill there. Box drop down here. Whitefell will fall at the shutdown for Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil looking for Plain Bog now. I Am Anxious will actually be the one to pick up that kill. Tower damage being dropped here. Should be our first tower here momentarily. There it is. As Dr. Phil will die here to Lunar Butterfly. And we'll slow it down. True Shot Barrage going to land a little bit of damage. But Creamy Pie is still very, very healthy. And you'll add the health relic on top of all of that. Only 28 kills here in 12 minutes or so.
Pretty slow-paced game, relatively.
Yeah, no, it's slower than compared to the first two. But
Definitely.
we did get our first tower here, so we'll see if that starts to swing the game the other
Here's the
way. Slingshot onto Baggin. There is the hook. Doesn't follow through onto the Pantheon. Spear coming down onto Mego. You see the Ziggs taking all kinds of damage there. Baggin looks for another engage. Flay is going to be... It's going to force the flash out here from Senna. And that's going to be red team's cue to go, go, go. Plain Bog on the back line here. I Am Anxious diving the back line on the other side of the map. The stun into the wall. Dr. Phil finds a shutdown onto Pantheon. Ziggs bomb does at least catch enough to take down Aatrox Tradwipe. It's a 3-on-3 here at this moment in time. As the
Didn't
Lone
get much.
Canyonman is quickly taken down here. And we'll reach another lull.
Much more team fights. Much more. Nothing too hype just yet. But I feel like if Vayne scales enough, I think they can hit a montage clip here.
One for the
Montage would
YouTube, you know? MLG. Throw out your...
Montage when TK montage when.
You just made me feel a lot older. I don't know what any of those words meant. But anyway.
TK Jamaican montage.
I know what montage means. Anyway,
Yeah.
Slingshot onto
Do you?
Creamy Pie.
Do you?
Creamy Pie will die. Hold on, we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Dr. Phil will be the next one to fall. Baggin trying to get on out of there. Already dropped the lantern. Hook coming down on the Lunar Butterfly, but meanwhile, Mego will fall here to the Pantheon. Just 2 left alive here for blue side. And it will be a 3-for-1. Red side still fighting back here as they'll finally try to get at least some tower damage here. They'll have the minions to back it up here. I Am Anxious Baggin, excuse me. I don't really have the wave clear. I Am Anxious, lots of trouble. Actually falls here to, I believe, a rogue auto attack from Lunar Butterfly. Onto Baggin they go. Pick up a double kill now for Lunar Butterfly. Creamy Pie back up. He's immediately rooted up. Does he just die? Yes, he does. I think that was a Storm Surge that took him down there. Ziggs bomb coming through. Will take some health bars low. The burn will be negated by the heal. Okay, so walk me through it. What were you saying?
Nothing. You're good. You're good. I don't. Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. You're fine. You're fine. Completely fine.
I am not 30 just yet. For the record, for everybody who wants to know, I am not yet 30. But I am
Pretty darn
starting
close.
to get up there. Pretty darn close. Hook coming down onto Whitefell. Passive is going to be proc. Big 3-man flay. Went the wrong way, though. Pushed him backwards, but I don't think it's going to ultimately matter all that much. They're still going to be able to run him on down. Meanwhile, Whitefell will revive. But he's still in a very, very bad spot. Elastic Slingshot going to be taken away by the Condemn. And it will be a full ace here for
And we
blue
do
side.
have our answer. It is going to be on hit Twisted Fate with the Blade of the Ruin King, allegedly.
Yeah, there we go.
We still
Still no
unless
Kraken
he
Slayer.
builds. Yeah, he needs a Kraken Slayer.
Yeah, I
Allegedly,
think
the
Kraken
next, that's going to be the next item he builds.
has to be. There's no way it's not, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's no way Creamy Pie would mess it up that badly.
I-
Hook
I
down
believe
onto
in
Plain Bog. Second tower is going to fall. I'm not flaming, I'm just saying. Auto attacks. You see how strong Dr. Phil is at this moment in time. He's got 8 kills. Just able to take down this Pantheon without much fanfare. Inhibitor is going to fall. Just feels like a few minutes ago, red team was finally starting to find a little daylight. But suddenly, blue team pretty much has their number. Whitefell in a lot of trouble already. Slingshot wasn't able to find much of anything. Another 3 members going to fall. And it's another ace. Ace off of the back of their last ace. And I think
Maybe
that's pretty
game.
much just going to do it here.
Huh.
Plain Bog up
That
in 2,
was
Shaunasan up in 3. But I just don't think it's
Everybody
going to
got
matter here.
2 items and they just steamrolled. Yeah.
So we'll never know if they get the Kraken Slayer, as this one's over. 15 and a half minutes. It is going to be the Heathers. Moving on, they keep their tournament hopes alive. Stow it away in the great mysteries of the Tournament Kingdom ARAM Tournament lore. Was Creamy Pie going to go on in to that Kraken Slayer? Obviously, taking a look at the damage charts.
Why
Dr.
did he
Phil,
build tier?
why did he build tier? We don't know. We'll never know. Unless, of course, we can get him for an interview at the end of the tournament. But either way, obviously, you see Dr. Phil and Mego putting down all kinds of damage. Things just kind of turned on its head in a hurry. So I think, Aurora, we're going to do what we did last time. We'll go on over to the other stream.
I don't think they're
We'll take-
streaming just yet.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then we'll have our next one coming up here real soon for you. Make sure you stick around. It's the Tournament Kingdom ARAM Tournament right here on twitch.tv. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. We'll be getting into the next lobby in just a few minutes. In the meantime, enjoy some more elevator music. League of Legends. League of Legends. League of Legends. All random, all mid. Bring back Magma Chamber. League of Legends. Of course, unmuting the microphone generally helps with being able to broadcast some League of Legends games, so I say again, League of Legends. We have about 4 minutes until we get started here, as the time is ticking on down in our pick client. So far, on one side, we have Janna and Galio locked in. Zeri as well. Zeri, the pentakill machine could be interesting on this ARAM map. However, she may have a little bit of trouble closing the gap on some of these champions on the other side. Ziggs, a recipient of heavy ARAM nerfs since the beginning of nerfs and buffs on this game mode began, may struggle a little bit into something like a Galio and Urgot and a Lissandra, and a Janna as well. However, he can still dish out quite a bit of damage. It all depends on how everything plays out here as the Jax is locked in. That will be an interesting pick, though. Again, he may struggle into the comp on the other side of the map. Varus can punch through that front line if he decides to go for that on-hit build. Akshan as well can do a good chunk of damage as we do wait for the spectator delay to continue to play out. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remain. So if the sides are what I believe them to be, then it should be Gnar You Not Amused with the Orianna, Akshan, Ziggs, Varus, and Jax, and the Heathers with the Janna, Galio, Urgot, Lissandra, and Zeri. Will that actually be the way it plays out? That remains to be seen. Because they could... It could absolutely happen. There could be switched sides, of course. I hope everyone out there's been enjoying the tournament thus far. as we begin to get into the thick of it. This will be my last game on the cast. However, there are several more to go after this. Jana in her champion portrait is just staring at that other side of the map. Look at her giving them side eye. She's had just about enough of this. 1 minute and 10 seconds until we get into the loading screen now. For anyone who didn't tune into the first game, I am the Talkative Scribe. I have a YouTube channel if you enjoy stories, where I write, narrate, and edit them over there. This is the first time doing any type of casting on Twitch, so hope you're all enjoying the show. As we tick down just about to that point where 1 minute remains, we will be seeing the Heathers for the third time today. We had them in our first game of the day, and then they played in the following game after that as well, and here they are again, continuing their journey through the loser's bracket. They did run into a juggernaut in that last game against I'm Down for That, as we saw some very potent performances from the Zack, Senna, and Kennen combo, which were able to punch through them. It was a beautiful performance from Creamy Pie on that Zoe, but just not quite able to make it happen. As here we go, we are about to get into the game, as that loading bar will be filling up momentarily. As here we go. It looks like we've somehow exited full screen, as we are going to fix that. Okay, we are still in full screen. Something odd's happening here. Let's switch that and see if it'll correct itself. And there it goes. We do just need a small minor camera adjustment now as well. As I apologize, the game is just getting underway now. Not hearing any deaths on the board just yet. As here we go, the Jax is going to be doing that counter-strike and leaping away. And just one more minor adjustment as we punch that desktop again. We're just going to pause this for just a second so that we can get everything in order for you. And that all is looking correct now as we unpause, get rid of the timeline, and we go to look at the champion items to see what everyone started with. We do see Galio opting for that ARAM-specific starting item as well as the Jack. As the farming begins, not a ton of engage on both sides of the map. Nothing too interesting happening build-wise so far. Nothing too much to be gleaned as that Ziggs satchel is going to knock him off. But Ziggs stepped up a little bit too far and is going to immediately lose his flash to the Galio. As we zoom out here to see a little bit more of the map, because it looks like these teams are going to be keeping their distance from each other, at least for the time being, as Zeri does indeed step up too far, as Bagan is going to be pierced by that arrow. However, Galio is going to get a two-man taunt, but no follow-up to be had there. More bouncing bombs go through as Varus is tagged, and Varus will be hit. However, right back goes Lysandra, as I Am Anxious did that cute little WQ, and then take the claw back to her original location combo with the snowball. As that's a pretty big tornado. Does a little bit of chip damage there. Zoriana continues to put the ball forward. You hear things look like they might be breaking out soon, but, you know, not quite the same amount of engage that we saw in our previous game. Certainly almost none of it on the side of Gnar You Not Amused, as Jack will go in, and Galio will go in on the other side. Galio this time still doesn't have that follow-up, but does another chunk of damage to Babadook there on that Ziggs. The Health Shrine going to heal up the Heathers as they continue their defensive positioning against the superior poke of Gnar, You Not Amused. That Jack is going to jump onto Zeri and does indeed get the kill with the Aftershock proc. However, Jax is going to go down on the opposite side as the Urgot claims a kill on the other end. 1-1, really not a terrible position to be in for the Heathers here against the early pressure that Gnar, You Not Amused is bringing to the board. You can see all of that range damage with the Ziggs, with the Varus, two historically very potent ARAM champions. Orianna can be a little bit harder to pilot, but she does indeed have a lot of power as well. She does step 2 forward, and she will not quite go down as the taunt comes through. On the other end, the Zeri taking a lot of damage as Lissandra gets poked through with that Varus Q as well. Tissue hiding in the buff. In the brush, pardon me. Need a little bit of water for that one. As the Zeri damage continues to pour through onto the wave from Baggin. Still not a lot happening here. We are missing those explosive engage tools. In our first game of the day, we had a Rakan, and we also had a Zac on the other side. Makes for a lot more engage. Also, of course, that Ken in follow-up. There's not a lot of follow-up to the engages here, though you could see some Galio over Lissandra plays that could be quite potent on the side of the Heathers. Not a lot of tools on the other side. Of course, the Orianna Shockwave on top of a Jax could have some impact, but it's just a bit more telegraphed. As now Galio's going to go in again. He trades about even on health lost there with Babadook. Creamy Pie looking for those entrances. Of course, speaking of engage, as that arrow is going to apply the Dark Harvest to Baggin and just take a lot of health off the top. I don't think that Zeri is going to have quite the impact you would necessarily want after all this poke raining down upon her on her first ultimate, as Zeri does indeed go down to the Orianna Shockwave, and on the other side, it's going to be the Galio-Lissandra combo, but it's not going to claim anything yet, as Urgot does indeed shred some people to bits. The ultimate comes in. He's trying to kite backwards. It is 2 for 1 so far, but now it is 2 for 2. 3 for 2, actually, in the extended play, as Zeri had gone down right as that started, as now Zeri is going to be looking for that pop-off moment, as she is zapping them to shreds. They're going to be electrocuted, as that Ziggs will indeed go down as well. A double kill for Zeri. And that is going to be Baggin off to the races. On the other end, Varus will take down Lissandra. Caroxius with that big arrow to take down the low health target. So, 5-6 on the scoreboard. Let's take a look at those builds. That is a Heartsteel Urgot. Not something you see every day, as Dr. Phil builds that. On the other hand, that's a tier on Galio. Tier is always an interesting item, because on Summoner's Rift, there's a lot of champions that you wouldn't build it on that you do on ARAM because of that quick stacking and that just free, not free, but inexpensive pickup to get more mana sustain, as there is no way to reset. When you come back, it's the same reason why Warmogs is built frequently. As that's another Galio engage, catching a squishy is the follow-up there. Ooh, Zeri steps too far forward and is smashed down as Lissandra looks to be falling to the same fate as that Orianna Jax combo doing a lot of work on the counter engage. And just nothing doing for the Heathers there as they attempted, but they were just too low to pull that off. The Zeri mispositioning not helping at all. As again, another engage coming in as Creamy Pie is going to jump into the middle of 4, but there's just no follow-up damage as the Akshan ult is going to smash down against the tower, and Zeri sees her moment, but is just obliterated as Lissandra is going to funnel in next. This is just a bloodbath for the Heathers as they just file into their deaths one after the next. No coordinated engage to be had here as Akshan sees his moment, does indeed take down the Janna, and on the other side, now they're trying to tower dive the Urgot. Urgot ult is going to connect on Jax. That one didn't look like a hit, but it did, as here comes Creamy Pie on the Galio to take down Babadook, now chasing down Caroxius. He has his eye on all 3 kills here. However, the Orianna is going to be able to get away, as is the Ziggs. Just not quite enough gap close there. The Zeri, unfortunately, Verbagen did extend their ultimate as they went down in the middle of all those tankier members while they were crowd controlled. So just a little bit of a swing back here. However, it is a 3,000 gold lead now for Gnar You Not Amused. As Creamy Pie is going to be going in again on that Galio, and is going to be tanking up all those members. As on the other side, the Jax will go in over the top. The Galio, however, does go for the heroic exit, as that is going to be Jax taken down. Now, can Zeri have her pop-off moment as her ult is expended and still ticking? Backing up, though, a little bit low health, as Varus will take down Urgot on the other side. Here comes the flash Q by the Galio, but just not finding anything and having to back up. As on the other side, the Orianna does go down at the same time as the Urgot. That was a big Akshan ult to take down Galio to finish that off. Just not quite enough minions or champions to block that for him. However, always better to go down as a low-health target in an ARAM if you have the chance. Lysandra was looking for that. However, the Akshan saw it as moment to go in, thought that Lysandra potentially was going to be taking that hook, just not quite there, and is smacked in the face with an icicle. Generally, that hurts. I have indeed fallen and hit ice before. Lysandra, you don't think of that as a physically painful champion as much, but ice hurts. It's very solid. Now, Varus, farming it up. We take a breather here. We can assess the items. Ziggs going for that Luden's Companion. It's Yorda with a bomb and a gun. Definitely a security risk. As Jax does indeed look to be going for that full tank route, the Heartsteel as well. So a lot of Heartsteels being built into this game. You do wonder if they're going to follow that up with Warmogs potentially to just be full tanks for their front line. The Urgot, however, looks to be going for that Titanic Hydra next. Lysandra with the Malignance. The ultimate ability haste quite nice on Lysandra as she does apply that MR shred around her, as that's a big Jax engage. Is the follow-up there, though? And it is, as the Orianna shockwave comes in, and that's going to immediately take out 2. And now, here comes the Zeri to die, and this fight just fizzles out for the most part, as that was another stuffed engage by the Heathers, as they just look to be outclassed in Champion Select. That's not a lot of damage coming down from their team, as you can kind of see that now. Once you get the Zeri out of play, as that Jax is going to be diving in again, and Lysandra is going to be looking for something on the other end, but the snowball misses! However, she does still get Ziggs, as Ziggs does take significantly increased damage in ARAM, as that Jax is going to be looking for the hero play. However, the respawns are coming in from the Heathers, so that's going to be it for their turn on Gnar You Not Amused. Gnar You Not Amused, however, doing quite well on the overall. The Storm Surge and the Luden's Companion both completed on the Orianna. You can see that big burst damage coming out from her, as Tissue looks to support their front line. Yeah, looking at it again, there really isn't a ton of damage on the Heathers. They may not be able to compete with this. However, they do get the health relic, so as momentum swings back against them, they may just be able to sustain up. That poke will become less potent throughout the game, as it typically does on ARAM. However, there's so many poke champions that it may just not be enough, as that Zeri is missing 40% of their health bar. The Mago Inferno Bomb whiffs. However, the Jax goes in, gets the stun, and then just goes right back out. Fancy footwork to bob and weave around combat as the Jax. That full tank's Jax actually doing a lot of work, creating a lot of space for their carries. As that's a big engage. Galio over the top. And it's going to be Orianna dead immediately on one side. Varus down as well. The carries are just about finished on the side of Gnar You Not Amused, pardon me. As that is going to be Urgot going down and Jax going down. The front lines are finished. Here comes the Galio, however, the only remaining frontline member from either team, as that was a wash as the Heathers take down Gnar, you not amused across the board. So now a little bit of life being breathed in back to them. They might have just scaled. That Zeri got her moment in that fight, as that is going to be Janna deciding that it's time to die and go do a little bit of shopping. Let's actually read our items again, see what's been happening. The Lysandra does disengage. The Lysandra did pick up that Seeker's Arm Guard. That is where Stopwatch has gone now. It no longer builds into anything but an AP item. That's just a set of numbers, feigning an engage, flashing a little bit of mastery. As it looks like the game has finished and ejected me from the replay. So not ideal for that ending. As that's a little bit difficult to see what actually happened there. No, the game didn't finish and eject me from that replay. It just kicked me out of the screen. So now we're going to go back into the game as 3 are dead on either side. The game does appear to be finished. However, we have yet to see who's going to win it, as Dr. Phil is going to be sending that Urgot full force into that Jax, but the Counter-Strike is going to stop those auto attacks. The Janna now hitting the Jax, and Zeri now looks to be attempting to do her thing as we continue to work our way through the remainder of what there is to be seen in this game. So the Orianna attempting to hold back the tides, as Janna has taken a lot of damage, and it's going to be Galio tanking up those Akshan ult shots. As Zig's bouncing bomb is going to make its way onto them. The Lysandra looking for something here, but it's just the health relics being taken by the Heathers. So now standing very, very far away from the combat as they continue to get those health relics. That poke has done a lot of damage to them, but this game has been getting closer as it's gone on. As we crest the 15-minute marker, those death timers start to get longer, as that is quite a lot of damage. However, the Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't do a lot, but here comes the Jax over the top. The Galio looking for the engage, has to back up. Dr. Phil is going to get annihilated along the side of Zeri, and now we'll have to see if the Galio and Lysandra combo is going to be enough. As Galio goes to one side, Lysandra goes to the other. However, she is going to be taken down. As here comes the Jax to jump on top of a carry again, and a set of numbers is just absolutely shredding the Heathers. However, that is going to be a stopwatch to reset turret aggro. Now there's going to be a taunt that is just not going to do much, as a set of numbers was able to get around that by Creamy Pie. So now this looks to be the game in favor of Gnar, not amused. But Zeri, can she have her moment? No, not at all. Absolutely annihilated, as that is going to be the victory for Gnar, not amused, as the Heathers are eliminated from this Tournament Kingdom match in Game 4. So that is it for me today on the cast. However, the tournament shall rage on as Gnar, not amused heads on to face their next contender at the end of the losers bracket. Thank you so much for watching. I'm the Talkative Scribe, and please tune in to the main Tournament Kingdom channel.